Thank you. Excited to be here. So my name is Ted Hansson. I'm the CEO of Acconeer, and today I would like to present Acconeer briefly to you and also tell you a bit about the very interesting journey that we are embarking on. So Acconeer is a world leader in low power radars. We're a Swedish fabless semiconductor company with headquarters in Malmö. We're specialized in small, highly integrated low power radar solutions. To the left, you see one of our radar systems. You can see that the total solution size is 5.5 by 5.2 millimeters, so very small. And this then includes both the actual radar as well as the antennas for the radar function. We are selling to the global market. Today, we are shipping to customers in more than 50 countries. We have, by today, sold more than 2.5 million radar sensors. And we have tracked at least 171 commercial launches with our radar. We're proud to be a trusted supplier in the automotive industry. For any company, this is a strong indicator of quality. Of course, being a small company like ours, it's an even stronger indicator of high quality. We're listed on the Nasdaq First North since 2017. And today, our current market cap is around 480 million Swedish crown. Acconeer is built around innovation called Pulsed Coherent Radar, or PCR. And this technology is based on research from Lund University. It basically combines the best of two worlds. We have the pulsed, giving us extremely low power consumption, and coherence, giving us the really, really high accuracy. With our radar, we are able to see micrometer movements from distance. And you can see there is a round blue picture. It shows a module that we're selling. On the front side, we have our radar system. And then on the back side, there is an MCU with Bluetooth connectivity. Thanks to our extremely low power consumption, this module can run on a standard small coin cell battery for up to 10 years. Radar as a technology is a very robust sensing technology. There are no natural sources of interference, such as temperature, wind, rain, snow, or sunlight. We can also see through plastic and glass materials, giving us really easy integration into end products, as well as protection from the environment. And of course, if you compare to cameras, we also have the added benefit of not having a privacy issue, as you can actually not get any biometric data from the radar. We are supporting a wide range of use cases, including presence detection. Examples here are heating, ventilation, and air conditioning controls, door locks, presence in toilets and conference rooms, and so on. Thanks to the high accuracy of our radar, we can detect people that are sitting absolutely still or even sleeping. We can also use the radar to decide what area we will detect presence in, so you can have a range that you're interested in to see presence, which is kind of an advanced presence use case. We can support level measurement. This is a fast-growing market for us. We are providing our radars in a wide range of level measurement applications, like tanks and silos and so on. The radar supports proximity and distance measurement. This is a good thing and a desired thing in many industrial automation applications where we would like to measure distance with high accuracy remotely without touching it. Thanks to the accuracy, we can measure vital signs such as pulse and breathing from distance. The radar also has the ability to distinguish between different materials. A typical example here is lawnmowers, where we can detect if there is grass or no grass, so that the robot mower can decide whether or not it should try to cut the grass there. The radar can also measure surface velocity of fluids. This is interesting in sewage systems, but also in river and other water treatment, water management applications. Finally, the radar has the capability of measuring speed. We can measure high speed with extreme high accuracy. We are active in 4 segments. First, we have the IoT and smart city segments. Here we have seen quite a few successes around parking monitoring. So the radar is used in parking application to detect cars. It's also used in EV application to detect if a car is parked in front of a charger. We see our radar being used in different kind of level measurement. It could be rubbish bins, sewer systems, and so on. The other segment is industrial and agriculture. We are working with logistics and warehouse company to measure if a pallet is full, if a truck is full, a container is full, and so on. And also we have a wide range of level measurement customers doing all sorts of tanks. The third segment is automotive. We are active in two specific use cases here. We have the access control, also known as the kick sensor to open the boot, as well as interior detection. The final segment is consumer electronics. This is a lot about presence. So we have our radar integrated in different toys. We can also see it in applications such as a shower to make sure that the water is only running when there is a person actually in the shower. It can be used to control the light in conference room. It can be used in keyboards to detect presence, to turn on the screen, and so on. So we are active in a wide range of applications. And today I would like to take a couple of minutes to look a little bit deeper into two of very interesting segments that we're working with. So first, the automotive segment. We have a really strong partnership with Alps Alpine. Alps Alpine is a Japanese large company. They are a so-called tier one supplier to the automotive industry. Together with them, we have managed to launch 10 different cars that integrates Acconeer technology. They come from brands like Volvo, Polestar, Cadillac, GMC, Honda, Cadillac, Chevrolet, and Acura. By today, we have announced 21 design wins with a combined value of $74 million over several years. We are working with 3 of the 5 world's largest OEMs in the automotive industry. And as I said in the previous segment, we are working with 2 use cases. So in addition to the access control that I explained, we're also working with interior detection. And this is a really interesting use case where we have a really strong fit with our radar. The legislation in both North America and Europe is changing. Car manufacturers must now, by law, add detection so that you cannot leave behind kids and pets in cars, especially on hot summer days. And our radar technology is a really good way of doing that. We can detect that there is a person. We can distinguish it from other objects that do not have pulse. And we can do it without interfering with the privacy of the user. So as an example, the new Volvo EX90 that is now finally shipping includes 8 of our Acconeer sensors. So there are 7 sensors that are used for interior detection of all the passenger seat rows, as well as the trunk. And then there is an 8th sensor used to open the trunk, the so-called kick sensor. And we continue to see more traction in the automotive industry, and we are working with additional customers and additional design wins. And as I said, I think the match with our technology and the automotive industry is a really, really strong and good match. The other segment I would like to take a couple of minutes to talk about is tank level measurement. This is another area where we see a strong match between our radar technology and the requirements of the market. So for those of you who follow us, you could see that our second quarter, we reported a significant growth in revenue. A large part of that actually came from the tank level measurement market. Today, we have more than 10 different customers in mass production with us. And they are looking for a robust technology that can work in rough environments. They prefer non-contact measurement. They need easy installation. They need extremely low power consumption. They're often battery-operated products. And this is perfect for our radar. This market is actually a significant market. Over the next 3 years, it is estimated that some 52 million units tank level measurements will be shipped. Of course, not all of them will be radar-based, but we're working hard to grab a significant part of this market. And as I said, we have a really good traction with more and more customers here. As I said in the very beginning, we are selling globally, and we have three different approaches to reach our customers. First, we have our global online distribution network with DigiKey and Mouser. Then we have a quite strong regional distributor network that you can see on the picture here. So we have distributors working with us, boots on the ground, in many of the key markets that we are active in. And then finally, we have the Acconeer sales team, both in Malmö, but also in some key locations in US and in Asia. And as I said in previously, we are now strengthening the effort to go after large customers. And as a consequence of that, or as a result of that, we are increasing now the Acconeer sales team effort in the regions. Looking at our products, today we have two products in mass production. They're called A111 and A121. We also have the next generation sensor engineering samples available. It's called A2. A2 we target to launch in 2025. This product is not an evolution or a cost down of the previous generation. This is a completely new design, significantly more complex. It includes multiple transmitters and antennas, receivers, to give us angular resolution. It contains on-chip data processing capabilities, and it will provide extended range. So these features will allow us to enter new markets with A2. And I want to talk a few words about that. So with the A2 sensor, we will be able to do location and tracking. So we can track and locate multiple objects in a 3D room. We are able to count those objects. We're able to classify these objects. Do they have pulse? Are they large? Are they small? And so on. And this opens a myriad of new applications. So some examples that I can think of related to location and tracking, for example, in TVs, there is a strong desire from TV manufacturers to know whether or not someone is sitting in front of the TV. They also would like to know how many people are sitting in front of the TV. This is important information that content providers are interested in to understand billing, but also to sell advertisement. Soundbar is a massive market, and in order to get a better sound experience, the soundbar will like to know how big is the room and where is the listener located in the room. In that way, they can optimize the sound in a specific direction. We see interest from toy manufacturers to be able to do location and tracking of objects. Another segment, I think there is a good opportunity, is that we have an aging population. And using a system like A2, you will be able to put an A2 sensor in a home, and without jeopardizing the privacy of the person, you will be able to detect if there are more people than expected. For example, if you have one in the bedroom and you're living alone, there should only be one pulse in the night, otherwise you might have an intruder. You can use it in the bathroom to detect if a person falls. We can detect the fall. You can also use it to monitor the breathing and the pulse of multiple people in a room. Another area is 3D obstacle detection. This is already a very significant market. It's used in robotics, it's used in drones, vehicles, lawnmowers, vacuum cleaners, and so on. We will be able to do this with a one-chip solution using A2. 3D gesture control is something that the industry has been talking about for a long time. I think A2 is the first product that will combine the function, the size, the power consumption needed to really make this work. So you can imagine put it in earphones to control the earphones, waving your hand in different direction. You can imagine having it in a laptop, in a tablet, or even a mobile phone to control the device using gestures in the air. We can also do counting and classification. This allows advanced presence applications. For example, we will be able to see how many people are in a conference room, And then you can optimize the airflow in the conference room. You can optimize the lighting. You can optimize the sound. You can use it in elevators, buses, cars to understand how many people are in this specific location and so on. There's an endless of opportunities opening up with A2. Now I would like to show a very brief video made by summer worker in Acconeer. So they took a web camera, that is the picture that you see, and we mounted an A2 sensor in the same direction as the A2 camera. The A2 will read out send the data and we process it, and we overlay the data in real time on the video, and then we will be able to do tracking. So here you see two ladies walking around, and the white circles is based on data that is generated by the A2 radar. And you can see that we are tracking these two objects in real time. We measure the distance, we follow them, and of course the viewfinder data is only for you to be able to see how it actually works. But this means that without using a camera, without concern of privacy, we can detect multiple objects in A2 with high accuracy, both the size and the distance and the speed. Today we have shared evaluation kits with a few selected customers, and as I said, we are targeting launch in 2025. If you look at our sales growth, to the left you see the sales revenue the last 6 years. We were on a nice growing projection, and then in 2023 we encountered a downturn. This is explained by delays in the automotive industry. In 2022 we shipped a significant number of sensors to car models that were delayed, and they only started production now recently. So in 2023, the shipment to the automotive industry were significantly lower, which hit the top line. Furthermore, to the right, you see the revenue for the first 2 quarters that we have published this year. So you can see that we are on track of achieving a decent year here. To the right, you see how we have done this. We have sold some 8,000 evaluation kits. This has generated today 171 commercial launches, and we have sold some 210,000 modules and then 2.5 million sensors for these products. My final slide is about financial objectives. These are the financial objectives that we disclosed earlier in the spring of this year, and they're still very valid. So this is just a repetition. We are targeting the first EBIT positive quarter in 2025, and we target the first cash flow positive quarter in 2026. And by 2027, we see revenues above 300 million Swedish crown. Finally, we have a long-term EBIT margin of at least 25%. So that was my last slide. Thank you for your interest, and now we open up for some questions, if there are any.
Thank you so much for the presentation here, Ted. As you mentioned as well a bit, Acconeer operates in a pretty rapidly growing 3D sensor market. How do you position yourself in that market to reach the profitability at hand that differs from the other competitors?
We are an innovative company. You know, our PCR technology is one in the world. We're the only one who's able to deliver the combination of size, accuracy, and power consumption. And the way that we are driving the company is to be innovative. So we are very sure that our A2 sensor will be extremely competitive in the market. And what we're trying to do now is to go a bit more with larger customers, take advantage of having this new product, go to large customers and win some large design wins and scale the volume with larger customers.
Thank you. If we look a little bit at financials, as you mentioned here at the end of the presentation, earlier this year you raised capital of approximately 149 million SEK. Looking ahead here, you mentioned a positive cash flow in first quarter 2026. Do we see any need to raise capital again before that, or?
We don't have any plan to raise any capital. So I just joined the company a couple of months ago, as you may know, and I have looked through the forecast, I've looked through the work that has been done, I think the decision was done in the right way, so we are following the plan. But of course, we need to execute our plan, right? But we are not deviating from the plan.
Thank
so
you.
No,
Yeah, and looking ahead as well as to the cash flow target there for Q1 2026, what obstacles are in the way right now to reach that goal?
We are investing very heavily in A2. We're a small company, and we're putting a significant effort into this next generation. And of course, that means that we're investing money. So in order to reach the positive cash flow, we need to see the volumes picking up, and we need to keep the A2 schedule on time to make sure that we don't overspend on this sensor. So this is the laser focus of the organization now. It's basically the two main focus of the company is to grow the sales funnel and to make sure we deliver A2 on time at cost.
Thank you. And you mentioned here that you're active in 4 segments. Which of those segments do you see as the most promising one in the near future?
In the near future, I think that the 2 that I spoke a little bit more about are going to take a significant part of our revenue, the automotive and also the tank level market. However, I'm not sure that we will have the same killer applications with A2. There might be other markets that will be much bigger in volume and revenue a couple of years later. But short term, I think tank level and automotive are 2 interesting markets and significant markets for us.
Talking a little bit about the automation industry here and car manufacturers, if we look at a lot of big car manufacturers, pretty quarters have come down and the numbers are a bit lower than usual the last quarter here. Is that anything you have noticed?
We have experienced a delay in start of the production. But so far, the volume is still relatively low. Most of the launches the scale-up is still, in the future. So we have announced $74 million design win. And of course, by today, our revenue is not anywhere close to that. So we are still expecting an uptake going forward from the automotive industry. And the way that you mitigate this is, of course, to win many car models, many car manufacturers, and not be relying on a single OEM or a single model. So that's what we're working hard on. We need to spend our effort on the things that we can control, and winning more customers is our responsibility. And I think that's the best way to make sure that we capture as large part of the market as possible.
Thank you. And as you mentioned here as well, you're pretty new to the CEO position at Acconeer. What will be your strengths and what will you add to the table here going forward?
Well, my previous experience, I spent 25 years in semiconductor. Out of that, I spent 20 years in Asia. And I've been helping several Swedish companies to scale their business by driving business and creating business. And coming in here and having a fantastic team, having great technology, having a killer product in the factory, I think is a really, really good starting position. Now it's time to push and create a stronger sales funnel, and that together with making sure that A2 is on time is where I will spend most of my effort, and it's something that is very close to what I've been doing the last 20 years and so in Asia.
So you have a bit of experience.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, that was the last question we had time for here. So thank you so much for the presentation, Ted, and answering questions, and good luck going forward.
Thank you very much for having me.